Alright, here we are again. We're just after Thanksgiving, and I know the last couple of videos were long, so there was a lot of drama involved, and so here are some results. This should be a quick one. So let's go over here. I think the lighting will be a little bit better over here. We have indeed taken out the chimneys all the way up in the front, but not the back yet. We're holding pat on the back of the house so far. But this is all that remains. Down below us there are those giant slabs of granite that will need to come out of the basement so that the footings can be simplified and poured down below. But there's some interesting things going on here with how they constructed this, and actually getting a look up close. You see how there's not much mortar between those bricks there. This is the flue for what was our living room. It had been blocked off, probably for good reason here. Not looking particularly clean or in good shape at all. The flue for the furnace also came through here, and I think it was, I do have a remnant somewhere of a clay flue tile. I think it must be upstairs. But I think this had been lined for the furnace down below us here. But generally speaking, it was in really bad shape. You can see that the brick was 3 thick, except where the flues came in. So that's only 2 bricks thick there, and then that continues 2 bricks thick for the rest of the house. And you see that little ledge there, and all the excess down here. So it's 3 bricks thick. This is the 3rd brick down here for the whole first floor, and then that brick forms a ledge to help support the 2nd floor. But there's 2nd floor and attic only 2 bricks thick. So that's how it was done. That's why these fireplaces down on the 1st floor were a little beefier, deeper. And you know, the fireboxes ran right into that 3rd layer of brick, and then the flue had to go somewhere, so it stepped over one course, and was just using the outside wall as its flue. So that's probably why these never drafted terribly well. I know Herb always complained about it, because those outside walls were always really cold, and to warm them up was a great feat. So you'd probably have to have these going all the time, keeping those walls super warm all the time in order for this to actually work and draft pretty well and not get super smoky. So it does not surprise me that Herb never liked using these chimneys or fireplaces. So other side is really just the same thing. They haven't gotten quite as far. Now I came through and measured up all of these fireboxes downstairs here. The last one we just looked at, and this one, we do everything in our power, in our budget really, to bring them back. They'll get framed out with wood coming off the wall to have that kind of chimney effect. It'll look like the chimneys always looked, really. And then these fireboxes will be built same number of bricks tall. I have the overall dimensions and the number of bricks in all of the dimensions as well. So we'll reproduce this firebox. We will have to slide it over just, I don't know, 6 inches or a foot. We're just going to center it between the windows here, rather than have it pulled over like it is now. It'll just look a little bit better in a formal space like our dining room. And upstairs we're still undecided. Let me quickly run upstairs. So we have the option of framing out faux chimneys and doing fireboxes even upstairs as well. Here's the opening, little baby door. And yeah, this It's just creosote all over this one. You can, I'm a little zoomed in tight, but really chunky, really dangerous. We're glad we never lit anything up in here because it just smells really strong as well. So all the way up through, that piece of plywood is on the roof. It's all weather tight up top, or tight enough. And so when the brick mason, it's redundant I guess, the mason comes through, he's gonna clean all these up, remove all of the timbers, parge it all with a structural stucco, and really these walls are gonna stand. All the brick in the house is essentially going to end up functionally being a veneer. It's just there for looks, it holds itself up, and that's it. And then down below you can see we're gonna have a stud wall right in front of these, and it's gonna support the floor above. And then there's a stud wall here, so without that extra course, there's 3 courses of brick you can see right there, and then it transitions to just 2 up here. So we've got a little extra room, and those structural walls need to line up. So we got a couple inches, a brick's width to make up on the second floor. I don't know if we put a little extra insulation in there, and just we got to line the walls up. So there's no advantage to it, so we might as well probably put an extra layer of foam insulation on the second and third floors so that we get all the structure lined up. And actually the footings down in the basement are going to be lined up just inside as well. So everything's going to stack right up. It's like we're building a house inside this house. And I mentioned last time, all these floors, all the timbers, these beautiful timbers are going to be salvaged. We will use them everywhere we can. We've got a number of excellent plans that our architects are reworking right now to take advantage of them. Let's just peek over here. So the timbers need to go basically to meet code and to be able to pass structural standards of today. Sistering onto, we wouldn't have been able to show any if we had tried to remain in place. It would have taken a lot longer. It would have actually been probably more expensive, a lot more cutting, tons of joist hangers everywhere, really labor intensive and slow. And they said it's going to be, number one, we'll be able to use these timbers anywhere we would like, and then number 2, it will cost a lot less because it's less time and less cutting, and it's really the same amount of materials when we look at it as well. Whether we're sistering LVLs on the side of this beam and then putting all the floor joists side to side here, side to side there, it's all the same amount of stuff. It's just this is all in the way versus just doing it like they always do it, and making sure the engineering actually works. So that is what we are doing. These beams will come back definitely in the kitchen area to try to warm that up. That's going to probably feel the most new of anywhere in the house, so we'll try to do that. And certainly in the new family room, we'll do it in there as well. We already have higher ceilings in there. I think we're going for a 9-foot ceiling in there, so that'll bring the height of the ceiling down, make it a little warmer. But we are still very undecided about if we are, keep walking at the bricks here, if we are bringing these back in the bedrooms. And really the reason why is kind of the same logic that we eventually came to with Oliver's room. We knew we had to take that one down, and then we looked at it and said, you know what, this is the best place in this room to possibly have a bed. And we had planned to put it along this back wall. You see that one stud there was a wall. You see the crease in the floor as well. So we had our bed here. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it at all because the fireplace was here, and that all worked. And we could bring it back, but in all honesty, this would be the right place to put the wall. It's about 7 feet between the windows here. king bed is about 6 feet wide. Get an end table under each one. I mean, it really is kind of begging to be the bed wall. Same in the guest room. Guest room even more so, I would say, because you enter here, and then if the bed is there, right about there, right between these two, right about there is where the doorway into the Jack and Jill bathroom is going to be, and there's also a closet door over near the exterior wall there. So it really can't, the bed can't go on this wall here in this room. It's not going to be quite enough room. And so then it has to go here. This is where I think Herb had it set up, which is okay. But again, if you're entering here, in order to get to the bathroom, you're going all the way around here, looping around, and then back over this way to go through. It's just it's a zigzagging traffic pattern that isn't awesome. Whereas, again, bed between the windows, you could do furniture along this wall, small piece of furniture along this wall, and if you're coming in as a guest and want to come in up from breakfast to take a shower, you're not zigzagging through the whole room. It's a straight shot. And again, you know, flank it with some nice windows and bedside table. It kind of seems like the right move right now. The other cool thing is we could always change that in the future, since it's all just getting framed out to simulate the chimney. We could, at a later date, decide, hey, we're going to move our bed back over here. We want to bring that fireplace back in, or we do an electric insert or a gas insert or something else down the line. I don't think I would do that, but we could, because it's just framing a bump in and putting it back in place. So that lets us off the hook a little bit, in my mind at least. So to be determined still, and it will probably be determined by our budget. So we will keep going with the brick demo. They're going to go down into the basement this week and keep going on that massive boulder in the basement, and prepping so that they can get all those slabs out from under these hearths down here, massive slabs underneath. So once that's done, then they can actually get to work in the basement. They can start excavating, pouring footings, and like we actually have some new permanent things going in instead of just ripping stuff out. So I'm excited for that. It's probably not going to happen next week, but the week after, at some point this year, we will actually be putting something into the house that'll end up staying here. So stay tuned for more excitement from us. Hope you're enjoying these, even if you're getting caught up a little late. I know a lot of people have been very busy with the holidays and everything, and I do not take offense. This is just a video blog for us, and at some point, if anybody wants to watch them, I hope you enjoy them. All right, take care.